Don't be sad when others treat you poorly. Be grateful because they are bearing your karma. When someone treats you unkindly, be grateful, for they are bearing your karma in your stead. Dear friend, why, in this vibrant and colorful life, do we sometimes encounter silent pain and wounds that seem impossible to heal? In those moments, our hearts seem to sink, lost in the vast ocean of existence. But dear friend, life is like a mirror, reflecting every seed of cause and effect we have sown. Each moment of hardship, each person who treats us harshly, carries a profound lesson that the universe wishes to impart. The Buddha taught that cause and effect flow like a river. Only by navigating rapids does it become a stream, and only by reaching the ocean does it find peace. Suffering is not an end, but an opportunity to pause, to understand, and to grow. Just as a lotus rises from the mud to bloom in pristine beauty, we, too, find the value of compassion, forgiveness, and inner peace through pain. This preface is dedicated to those hearts that have been wounded, to those navigating the storms of life. Let the story that follows guide you to rediscover yourself, to learn to love even when hurt, and to thank those who have caused you pain. For they are not merely challenges, but teachers guiding you toward maturity. The law of cause and effect and the web of karma. On the journey to find peace in life, there are moments when we ask, why me? Why do injustice and pain happen to me? The feeling of being hurt, betrayed, or even despised can tear our hearts apart. But dear friend, if you look deeply into the essence of things, you will see that nothing in this life happens by chance. Everything is a thread of cause and effect, a result of the law of karma that operates ceaselessly. The Buddha taught that karma is the root of all existence. Every action, word, and thought is like a seed planted in the soil of our soul. Depending on how we nurture and water it, that seed will sprout into a wholesome tree or a poisonous one. When we face injustice, it may be the fruit of something we did in a past life or even in this one. If we once caused suffering to others, then today, through the injustice we endure, karma is teaching us to understand that pain so we do not repeat it. But sometimes, when others treat us poorly, it is another expression of karma. They may unknowingly be bearing our karma, helping us settle invisible debts from the past that we no longer recall. This is why the Buddha taught us to view life with compassion, rather than focusing only on the surface of suffering and injustice. Those who hurt us may, in a deeper sense, be our benefactors from another life. Or they may be repaying a debt they owe us in the cycle of reincarnation. Look deeply into their souls. Those who seem cold or cruel may themselves carry pain, a lack of love, or understanding. Without love, how can they act with kindness? Instead of resenting them, let us learn to empathize. For only compassion can soothe the wounds in both their hearts and ours. When you face injustice, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Perhaps it teaches patience, forgiveness, or reveals the strength within you. Forgiveness is not weakness or forgetting. It is letting go of the emotional chains that bind your soul. When you forgive, you not only free the other person, but also liberate yourself from the cycle of resentment and pain. A heart full of hatred is like a house filled with thorns. Anyone who enters, including its owner, will be wounded. But when we open our hearts to forgiveness, we transform that house into a place of light and peace. Those who hurt us, if we look deeply, are giving us a precious opportunity to learn to let go. Letting go does not mean abandoning everything, but freeing your soul from what is unnecessary. In life, no one can escape pain, but how we respond determines whether we grow. Remember, no one can make us suffer unless we give them that power. Life is a mirror. When we sow love and respect, we receive the same in return. But if we sow hatred or selfishness, those things will eventually come back to us. So, be grateful even for suffering, for it is the most important lesson in understanding the value of compassion, forgiveness, and growth. Life is not unfair. Everything happens for a reason. Trust that every person you meet, even those who hurt you, is an essential part of your journey to self-perfection. Instead of anger, thank them. Through them, you learn to be stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Living with gratitude and understanding not only brings you happiness, but also spreads that happiness to those around you. The Buddha taught that those who live with love have found the path to true peace. So, dear friend, sow the seeds of love today, so that tomorrow you may reap the sweet fruits of joy and true happiness. 2. Forgiveness, the liberation of the self. Forgiveness is one of the most challenging acts for a human being, yet it is also one of the most powerful ways to reclaim peace for the soul. In life, everyone has experienced the pain of being hurt by someone's words, actions, or betrayal. Our natural reaction is to cling to that pain, to harbor resentment and blame, as if holding on to hatred will shield us from future wounds. But in truth, hatred is like a smoldering fire within, quietly burning away our peace and joy day by day. Forgiveness is not about justifying or excusing someone else's wrongs, nor is it about forgetting what happened. It is about releasing the negative emotions that bind our minds and drain our vitality. Forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves, a liberation that frees us from the chains of suffering. Forgiveness begins with acknowledging that we have been hurt. No one can forgive if they do not face their pain. We need time to touch the wound, to feel it, and to understand it. This does not mean dwelling forever in past sorrows, but taking the first step toward letting go. Once we acknowledge our pain, try looking at the situation from a different perspective. The person who hurt us may have acted out of ignorance, their own pain, or invisible pressures we cannot see. They too may be victims of circumstances that made them callous or mistaken. When we realize that others are human, as frail and flawed as we are, compassion begins to arise. This compassion is not indulgence, but a way to understand that hatred does not solve problems. Only forgiveness brings true peace. Forgiveness brings unexpected benefits. It not only frees the mind from negative emotions, but also leads to tangible improvements in mental and physical health. When we let go of hatred, stress and anxiety decrease, the heart becomes steadier, and the immune system grows stronger. Above all, forgiveness grants us a lighter heart and a clearer mind. Life is inevitably filled with conflicts and hurts, but how we respond determines our happiness. Forgiveness is not weakness, but the strength to rise above pain and move toward better things. When we forgive, we not only release others from guilt, but also free ourselves from the grip of the past. Resentment is like a heavy stone. The longer we carry it, the more exhausted we become. Forgiveness is the act of setting that stone down, allowing our shoulders to rest and our soul to be free. It is the path to a peaceful life, where past pains no longer have the power to control our present or future. When you forgive, you do not forget the lessons from painful experiences. Through forgiveness, you transform those lessons into motivation for growth. Forgiveness does not change the past, but it changes how you perceive and live in the present. So, forgive not just for others, but for yourself, for the peace of your soul, and for a life worth living. 3. The value of compassion and love. The Buddha taught that life is like a garden, where every action, word, or thought is a seed sown into the soil. No matter how small, these seeds will sprout, grow, and bear fruit on an inevitable day. If we sow seeds of kindness, love, sincerity, and sharing, our garden will flourish, filled with the fruits of joy and happiness. But if we sow seeds of envy, selfishness, greed, or anger, our garden will soon be overrun with thorny brambles, wounding not only others but ourselves. In modern society, many believe that money, fame, and power define a person's worth. They chase material goals, thinking these lead to happiness. But in reality, such things offer only fleeting joy, never lasting fulfillment. Money can buy luxuries, but not a peaceful soul. Fame may earn admiration, but cannot soothe hidden pains. Power may create a sense of control, but cannot shield us from loneliness or emptiness. What we truly crave lies not in these fleeting things. Deep within our souls, we seek love and peace. Love is the thread that connects human to human, the light that warms cold hearts, and the strength that helps us weather life's storms. Peace comes not from what we own externally, but from the serenity of mind, contentment with what we have, and acceptance of what cannot be changed. Compassion is one of the noblest qualities a person can cultivate. It is not just the ability to feel another's pain, but the drive to act, to ease that suffering. When we live with compassion, we not only bring comfort and hope to others, but also find joy and meaning in helping them. Even small acts of sharing can create profound change. A smile, a kind word, a hug, or a simple gesture of kindness can soothe someone's pain and sometimes even transform their life. Those who live with love do not need to seek happiness, for happiness already resides within them. When we open our hearts to love, we not only enrich our own souls, but also spread that light to those around us. Love has the power to heal wounds, soothe hidden pains, and foster connection in a divided world. Life, a journey of sowing seeds of love. Life is a meaningful journey where each day is an opportunity to sow seeds of love and compassion. Live authentically, simply, and with a heart full of kindness. Do not let the pressures of fame or competition dim the light within your heart. Living with love not only brings us happiness, but also contributes to building a better world. Remember, when we sow love, we reap love. When we live with compassion, we not only help others, but also enrich our own souls. Let each day be a chance to do good, to spread love and light wherever we go. This is the way to live a meaningful life, filled with true happiness and peace. 4. 3 things not to wait for. Lessons from mindfulness. The Buddha taught that life, though long, is astonishingly fleeting. Sometimes, we chase external values and forget the true meaning of what exists in our lives. Only when things pass or are lost do we suddenly realize their priceless value. There are 3 things in life we should never wait for, as once the opportunity is gone, regret cannot change anything. First, do not wait until something is lost to cherish it. Perhaps we have all felt regret for things that have passed. It could be health, relationships, or even the moments of life itself. We often take these things for granted, assuming they will always be ours. Only when they are gone do we realize how much time we wasted, left to face loss and regret. Take health, for example. When young, we often believe we can push our limits to work, earn money, or prove ourselves. But as years pass and the body weakens, we question whether the effort was worth it if the cost is a worn-out body. Or consider relationships. When loved ones are by our side, we think they will always be there, forever offering love and care. But life is impermanent. Nothing lasts forever. Cherish every moment now, for one day, we may no longer have the chance to love or say thank you. Second, do not wait until sickness to care for your health. Health is the most precious asset we possess, yet it is the easiest to overlook. When young and strong, we may think we can handle any challenge or pressure. We work relentlessly, skip meals, neglect sleep, and forget to care for ourselves. But when the body starts to protest, when illness knocks, we realize that health cannot be bought back with money or late regrets. A healthy body is the foundation for pursuing dreams and aspirations. Do not trade health for fleeting gains, as when health is lost, everything else becomes meaningless. Care for your body starting today, with small actions like eating well, exercising regularly, and keeping your mind at peace. Third, do not wait until separation to value relationships. In the rush of life, we sometimes overlook the relationships around us. We may snap, blame, or even hurt those who love us most, assuming they will always be there, their love unchanging no matter how we act. But even the strongest bonds need nurturing. When indifference or neglect fades a relationship, and the distance grows too wide, mending it may no longer be possible. Do not wait until loved ones, friends, or partners are gone to realize their value in your life. Love and cherish them while you can, for once time has passed, we cannot go back to do things differently. These 3 things not to wait for are profound and wise reminders from Buddhist philosophy. They teach us to live mindfully, to cherish every moment and the true values in our lives. Life is not an endless journey, but a series of finite days. Live so that each day feels fulfilling, with no regrets. Valuing health, loving those close to us, and being grateful for what we have is the way to live a meaningful and happy life. 5. Speech karma and the weight of words, the invisible power of language. As the ancients said, words cost nothing, so choose them carefully to please one another. Words may seem intangible and weightless, but they carry immense power to heal or wound deeply. In Buddhist philosophy, speech karma is considered one of the heaviest forms of karma, as it is something we use daily yet often fail to recognize its impact. What is speech karma? It refers to the consequences of our words. Lies, harsh words, slander, fabrications, or divisive speech that hurts others. Once spoken, words not only create immediate reactions but can also leave lasting effects, sometimes beyond a single lifetime. A cruel word can destroy a relationship, deeply wound a heart, or cause irreparable misunderstandings. Conversely, a positive, encouraging, or loving word can soothe pain, inspire hope, and build trust. The Buddha taught that mastering speech is mastering the mind, as words reflect what resides in our hearts. A mind filled with anger or envy produces harsh, spiteful words. A heart full of love and compassion yields words that bring comfort and happiness to others. Thus, words are not merely sounds but a reflection of who we are. Why we must be careful with words. First, because once spoken, words cannot be taken back. An arrow may wound, but the injury can heal over time. A cruel word, however, can leave scars in the soul that may never fade. Second, words affect not only others but also ourselves. Lies, slander, or divisive speech not only harm the listener but also accumulate negative karma, returning to impact our own lives. There are 7 main types of speech karma to avoid. 1. Speaking falsehoods, lying or deceiving, causing others to lose trust or suffer. 2. Harsh speech, critical or malicious words that deeply hurt others. 3. Divisive speech, words that lack conviction, aimed at sowing discord or personal gain. 4. Exaggerated speech, embellishing or distorting facts, leading to misunderstandings or harm. 5. Misleading speech, spreading unverified or distorted information, causing confusion. 6. Inappropriate praise or criticism, flattery or baseless criticism that wounds others. 7. Spreading others' faults, publicly shaming or criticizing without constructive intent, meant only to cause pain. To avoid speech karma, we must first learn to control our words. Before speaking, ask, is this necessary? Is it true? Is it beneficial? Will it hurt anyone? If the answer is no, it is best to remain silent. Silence is not only a way to avoid speech karma, but also a sign of composure, wisdom, and maturity. Additionally, cultivate the habit of speaking kind and encouraging words. A sincere compliment, a simple word of encouragement, or a timely apology can create unexpected positive change. When we speak kindly, not only do others feel warmed, but we also experience joy and peace within. By mastering our speech, we cultivate a compassionate heart, spreading love and positivity to those around us. Conclusion: living with gratitude and love. Dear friend, life is like a river, where every bend and rapid brings us valuable lessons. Each pain, each wound is not merely a challenge, but an opportunity to understand ourselves more deeply, to grasp the workings of cause and effect, and to appreciate the value of compassion. Those who hurt us, from a deeper perspective, are our teachers, guiding us in patience, forgiveness, and the art of letting go. Instead of resentment, thank them, for through them, we learn to grow and live more fully. Live with gratitude, for gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to peace. Love, for love not only brings happiness to others, but also illuminates our own souls. And forgive, for forgiveness is the most precious gift we can give, a gift that not only frees others, but also liberates us from the chains of suffering. Finally, live with a serene heart, so that each passing day is fulfilling and every moment is one to cherish.